Halo, selamat datang kembali di Vlog. Kali ini saya mau jalan-jalan ke Paris nih. Jadi di antara kesibukan di Belanda selama 2 minggu, saya menyempatkan jalan-jalan ke Paris. Di sini kita ditemenin Vincent.
So, where have you been already?
I've been in Amsterdam and Den Haag, yeah. And I visit here this weekend, and I'll go back to Den Haag this afternoon.
Okay,
Yeah.
Netherlands. Okay.
I stayed there for 2 weeks.
2 weeks there.
Nah, itu dia Vincent. Dia nanti yang akan jelasin semua tentang kota Paris. Oke, semoga kalian menikmati ya. Enjoy.
Going to use it for, I guess, for a special temporary exhibition.
Oh.
The building by itself must be turned into a nice building very soon. Inside, they kept the building, the facade, and they changed everything inside. In front of us, to the right, you will see the statue before the bus. The statue of Molière. Molière was the French writer of the 1600. He died 1670. He was like the French Shakespeare, if you prefer.
This one?
Yeah. He died on stage playing the imaginary invalid. This one. He died next to here, is why his statue is next.
Oh. So where's the tomb? Where's the tomb?
The tomb is in a big cemetery in Paris. The tomb is in a cemetery called Père Lachaise, one of the most visited cemetery in Paris. To the left is the Palais Royal garden, very nice garden. Behind the Palais Royal is this. There to the left you can see through the columns. There's a stone garden, but there's a real garden with plants on the other side. And the Palais Royal is also the theater on the stage of which they played Molière. Very nice metro station, created in the year 2000, so 17 years old metro station. And the Louvre, the museum is in front of us.
Okay.
Very large museum, very large complex. We are going to start the tour with it. Museum of Decorative Art as well. And in front of us is a church called Saint Sulpice. Saint Sulpice Church is one of these Roman Catholic church of the 1600s. It's in front of us. It's really a church of neoclassical style inside, Baroque paintings. A few things. It's not a major church, but it's an important one. Is also not lively now. Once again, yesterday, Saturday, a lot of all the shops were open. So that's a nice lively spot of the city. So that's the church there to the left of the fountain of the four cardinals there. I'm going to show you to the right the Saint-Germain-des-Prés Church on the Bonaparte Street. Here Pierre Hermé is one of the best chocolate maker and pastry maker in Paris, and great work. It's really, if there's one you must go to in Paris. But anyway, this is the street with a lot of fashion. You can see a lot of nice shops over there. That's a paradise for women. Or men sometimes. There's also one. So this is Saint-Germain-des-Prés, the church that you can see on the left to the right. Saint-Germain-des-Prés Church. It's quite an interesting. Like drivers in the cities. Well, there's still a lively section with all these little cafes and little shops. My idea was to show you a street with a lot of food stores. Today, if ever, I could drive through. It's not forbidden, so I should be able to drive through. No, they don't want us, so apparently they are blocking up that will not be enough, darling, if you're taking all the space. Ah, c'est à vous ce qui est à droite?
Toi, je marche bien, comme ça.
Ah oui, c'est très bien, mais monsieur, je suis en train de tourner, j'ai des clients étrangers, alors je ne veux pas m'amuser à parler. Deputies and senators are the parliament. Very good pastry shop there, the van there, Arnaud Larreur is delivering some good pastries. That's something I find fabulous in Paris. I didn't find in Italy, didn't find in England, didn't find in Netherlands, didn't find nowhere else than Paris. Look at the fresh pastries over there. This is the Palace of Luxembourg. This was built actually by the Italian-born Queen of France, Maria di Medici.
Oh.
Look at just the child clothing store, just to show you the right. That's the luxury one. I never bought anything for my kids from that store. Very expensive. But look at the space just to exhibit a few of the clothes there, and you just go inside. Are you going there for an art gallery or just to buy clothes? But just to show you, that's one of the most luxurious clothing stores. Anyway, in front of us, the Palace of Luxembourg, built by Maria di Medici in the 1600s over there. And that's quite an interesting palace, which is, as I told you now, housing the Senate, upper chamber of the Parliament. So there are sessions, but not on Sunday, of course. It's a quiet day. Famous French writers like Jean-Jacques Rousseau, Émile Zola. There is this university that we can see here to the right. Excuse me, not to the left, to the right. The Sorbonne is the second oldest university in Europe after Bologna in northern Italy. Okay, so this one dates back to the 1200s. It's been enlarged a lot. There were different constructions, enlarged a lot. So I can even show you more. I was talking about the Cardinal Richelieu before. He's buried inside this chapel. And where we are, underneath us, they discovered a cemetery of the Roman. So it dates back to the 1st century. So people lived there, died between the year 1 and 100. So they were buried in here, where we are, underneath us. So you can see better the chapel of the Sorbonne University. That's Sorbonne. Many in front of us, you will see an old Gothic palace. This palace dates back to the 1400s, but it was built above the ruins of the Roman bath. The Romans created their bath there when they created the city. So underneath the house, you can still find a lot of remains of what the Romans have built down there. So this is now a museum of the Middle Ages. Chapel is a very interesting Gothic chapel inside the former King's Palace of the Middle Ages, with the stained glass windows. So a lot of things to visit in there. So there's the Palace of Justice now, but it was before the Louvre. It was the King's Palace. So that's the Palace of Justice. You will see the oldest public clock in Paris, still in use, still working over there. This one there at the corner with all the details, the decoration on it. It's a clock from the 1500s. 1500? And now we give up the island. That's one of my streets I like to show when I do walking tours in Paris there. This is the street with this kind of library.
Oh,
That's the school. It's a public
school?
high school, yeah.
Oh,
There's a school and high school.
oh.
And to the right, you're going to see that the school is partly built on the old city wall. What you can see with the graffiti on it, written toil, something like that. This is part of the very old wall that dates back to the King of France, Philip August, when the King of France was resisting against the King of England, Richard the Lionheart. So you will see the old city wall there to the right. The firefighters are not jogging, but they are playing soccer over there. So there, where they are playing soccer on the right, you can see what is the oldest city wall of Paris. It dates back to those years 1190 there. So this city wall from 1190 down there. It was the time of the King of England. There are also passageways down there for the art galleries connected to the other. Down there, this passageway to the right. Right, so district of Paris, which is very lively on Sunday.
Okay.
Maybe the only district of Paris which has life on Sunday. Not now, too early, but after 10, when the shops will open,
Okay.
the streets will be close to the traffic, and a lot of pedestrians will be walking,
Yeah.
shopping, drinking.
Okay.
Famous, well, that baker is famous in that district. People love to have breakfast by St. Paul metro station. It's from the early 1600s. Wow, great. The street is not closed yet. The Bastille was initially a king's palace. The fortress, excuse me, the fortress used by the king. We'll turn around the block because I'd like to discover what they have done here in that museum. Museum which is closed now. They closed it a few weeks ago for renovation.
Oh.
Yes, an old palace of the 1500s. If you walk around the block, you will see the Pablo Picasso Museum.
Oh.
It's a national museum. All his paintings and sculptures are inside one museum. Well, in others, but also that one particularly. Plenty of former private mansions there. Almost each palace has a story to tell. About a lot of little gardens in Paris, little parks over there. So the next block to the right, the Picasso Museum, another museum to the left. Plenty of doors opening to the courtyards on a Sunday. And part of the palace remaining here. Another little park. Well, winter is too cold for the kids, but the Swedish Institute is there to the right. You've got a chapel which is famous for Brazil, Brazilian. They have Auguste Comte, created the Order and Progress, Chapel of Humanity, as they say. Around the corner there will be the street of the Jewish community of Paris. In front of us it's an old tower from the 1400s. Yeah, that's Square One up above. I will turn left. The street which will be lively, as I said, in 20 minutes when all the shops will open. But can we see the garden of that? No, they closed everything for renovation. There's a nice garden normally down there, but they closed it. Well, until end of 2019. Another little garden on the right. They use the gardens in the summer for the music festival.
Oh.
So it's about 9 houses on each side. There are 4 sides, so there are 36 houses with the same architecture. You can see through the arches to the right, it goes on down here.
Oh.
Nice gallery over there. The same on the left, same in front of us, same on the right. So all around. The ground floor wall is 36 houses. Is all the leaves of the column is being restored, so they are commercials of the French car Renault. It's not nice, but you can see part. Now we're close to that tower. That used to be a tower of a church, very center of Paris. With all these narrow streets on the right. There's a very important culture now using this building. They have modernized it with this iron.
Okay.
So part of Paris from the 1800s with an old passageway that must be closed right after this bar. People are kissing because the other gate is closed, but this is one of those passageways. I'll show you another example. The Bank of France over there is a former private mansion for one part. It was one house, one family at a time. And it's now the Bank of France. At the end of the street to the right, you will see also the circular building that used to be what we call which I prefer rise.
Oh, really?
But in front of us, the statue of the king was quite victorious. The king Louis XIV. The Sun King was king for 72 years, longest reign in France. King for 72 years. So he built this palace to live outside of Paris, the Palace of Versailles. But that's a square laid out by one of his architects. Also laid out the square with the square on the left with the glass roof. It's a bank company that owns that. And then we are going to reach the Vendôme Square. Vendôme Square is very famous for its unity of style. All the houses around, there's still some scaffolding on the right, on the left, sorry, but here you will see the famous Ritz Hotel, the luxury hotel called Ritz, which is over there to the right with the scars. Caesar Ritz was a rich Swiss man who opened that hotel before the one in London, before the one in Madrid. It was the first luxurious hotel like that.
Ritz with Z. Ritz. I think we have one in Jakarta. It's called Ritz Carlton.
But then if it's Ritz-Carlton, it's not the same. This one is independent. It's the Ritz. That's not Carlton.
Oh, okay.
Carlton's a chain made by the American. This one is the original Caesar Ritz.
Oh, okay.
The real one. We opened that more than 100 years ago. So in there, that's where Lady Diana left and had the crash. Princess Diana left from that hotel. Almost 20 years ago. This year it's going to be 20 years ago. So that's the Place Vendôme, Vendôme Square.
Oke, itu dia jalan-jalan hari ini. Besok kita ke Eiffel dan ke katedral. Jadi jangan lupa like dan subscribe. Terus ditunggu ya buat video berikutnya masih di Paris. Oke, thank you for watching. Bye.